I'm recording in my kitchen right now because there's really good lighting in here. Hold on. Now this is a bike video. There's a lot of advice floating around on the internet that explains and gives a lot of tips about how to ride your first century, let alone how to ride your first fixed gear century. But the truth is that riding your first fixed gear century or otherwise is actually really simple. It's not easy, but training for it and actually riding it is simple. Not easy, but simple. Please note that this video presents the advice given by a bike forums member. This is in no way my advice. And that member's name is the Octopus. And the Octopus has ridden almost 200 centuries, with a handful of them being fixed. For more comprehensive advice about how to ride your first fixed gear century, click the link in the description for a good read. According to the Octopus on bike forums, most century advice can be boiled down to two things. One is bike fit. Number two is ride volume. He states that if you are in reasonable shape and riding a bike that fits you and is in good order, then you will most likely complete your first century and have fun doing it. If in the 2 months before your century, you have a total ride volume of 400 miles and successfully complete a long ride of 65 miles over similar terrain in the same weather that you'll be riding your first century in. That is all the essential advice that you need in order to ride your first fixed gear century. Number one, does your bike fit? Number two, have you ridden 400 miles in the past 2 months? This averages out to about 50 miles per week. Totally doable. If so, have you done a longer ride of at least 65 miles under similar conditions? If you've answered yes to all of these questions, then you are well prepared to ride your first fixed gear century. If you answered no to any of these questions and you're looking to ride a century, do whatever you haven't done. Now for something important to note that's kind of counterintuitive. When you're planning out your route, be sure to include some climbs and descents, some rolling terrain into your route. Because if you plan out a completely flat route, it makes your century a lot harder. You're pedaling the same cadence and you don't really get to use much other muscle groups, so it can really take a toll on your body. Most other advice really is just common sense that your mother would yell at you as you run out the door. Bring food and drink a lot of water. Remember to bring your tools, have some money, take your phone with you, take a lot of breaks, remember to stretch, ride really slowly, honey. You're going to be in the saddle all day. Careful, I love you. Now that is all the training and riding advice that you need in order to ride your first fixed gear century. It's not the easiest thing to do, but it is really doable and it is really straightforward and simple. I followed most of the advice that the Octopus has given in that link in the description, seriously go read it, and I was able to complete my first fixed gear century in 11.5 hours. It's a pretty slow time, but I was able to actually finish my century, and that is what a first century is about. Now I hope you guys go out there and take on your first fixed gear century.